Welcome to After the Poll, the video series where I share all my thoughts and opinions on the comic books that I read for the current comic book week. Except this week, I can only share a few of them because, yes, this is the abbreviated version of After the Poll. In a few short weeks, guys, we will getting back to the normal video length of this series where I talk about a lot more comics. So today we're going to be talking about 5 or 6 of them, and if you love daily comic book content, if you love me helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy, guys, you came to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. Also, guys, check out mutantbeavercomics.com if you love exclusive variant covers. Check them out, guys. They have over 4,000 exclusive variants in their store. They got top-notch customer service. Their packaging is second to none. And guys, if you use my promo code CORNER10, not only can you save 10% off of your entire purchase, but future purchases after that. So check out mutantbeavercomics.com. So with that being said, let's get started with this week's episode. Something is killing your children. This is issue 39. This is a 32-page comic for the price of $4, guys. This one's written by James Tynion IV, and the artwork is done by Werther Dell'Aria. Artwork is what you can expect from this comic. If you've been reading it since the very start like I have, it's absolutely awesome. And in this story arc, we've been dealing about stories that have led to Erica Slaughter become the character that she actually is today. And this particular story, we get to actually see her sit down with a therapist, okay? And you would think, why would I want to see that? But what this really dives into is that this dives into the emotional side of Erica Slaughter, this hardcore character that fights monsters, and she always has to put up this front. And we get to see her have her emotions broken down by this therapist, and we get to see, you know, what happened to Jessica Slaughter, the person that actually took her in, and just all those different and raw emotions, okay? This book was absolutely excellent, and I feel it's really integral to see this side of Erica Slaughter, again, where you've always seen her, but this hardcore character. And each issue that you've been getting, it's been slowly kind of seeing more and more of the humanized side of the character, and this one was absolutely brilliant. I absolutely recommend this book and this entire story arc. This is the final story arc of these one and done stories, learning more about Erica Slaughter. And what we get in the future, we shall see. But this was awesome, and this was an A+. A spectacular book overall, in my opinion, and a phenomenal series. Green Arrow, issue 14, another absolute power tie-in, 32 pages for the price of $4. Joshua Williamson's our writer here. Sean is, I can't say his name, is the artist. Sean does a great job at the artwork here. I mean, the characters look awesome. There's a lot of characters in here. You got the whole Arrow family that's involved. And what made this comic book really good was all the interactions that the characters go through in here. And then you also get like the Arrow Cave, right? And you also get like the Arrow Jets in here too. So those things were cool. And then you kind of got like Connor Hawke actually going in and, you know, taking his father's place as Green Arrow, right? And the whole point of this comic book is that the Arrow family is trying to find Professor, is it Ivo? Is that how you say his name? I don't even know how you say his name, but he's the creator of these Amazo robots. I mean, no, I'm probably butchering everything, but he is the inventor of these robots, and they're going to him to try to find out if there's a way to stop them. And these particular robots are different. Amanda Waller has done something different to these robots to where he can't figure out how to stop them, right? So overall, this book is a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this. And the cool thing about this series are these absolute tie-ins. They've been actually really good and they've enhanced the story. So I think this comic book is a B+ for me. It's entertaining. The artwork is great. There could be a few too many characters, right? All trying to grab the spotlight at certain times. But nevertheless, I think Joshua Williamson does a nice job at trying to balance things out. So this is definitely a must read. Task Force 7, Part 2, or should I say Issue 2. This is 32 pages for the price of $4. The writer here is John Layman, and the art is done by Max Rayner. Now, I gave this one a try because Leah Williams wasn't on it, and the artwork is much better in this comic book. It doesn't look like a kid's book. You got Doom Patrol looking nice in here. Kind of continues where it last left off, where we get to see Doom Patrol kind of lose their powers. You wind up getting to see one of the Amazon robots actually take over Atlantis, and it's grabbing everybody's powers, including Aquaman's powers in here, right? So obviously in this comic book, Amanda Waller prevails once again, but we're starting to find out that there are little glitches within the robots, and this could prove something in the future that might go against Amanda Waller, or our heroes could use in their favor. So again, when it comes to a tie-in, this was really worth it. And then you get this nice little side story here going on with Steel and Trevor, how Steel like sets him up and puts him in the jail anyway when he was supposedly supposed to work with them. It was actually really good. I love that part of the story. So this helps me go on to issue 3. Now again, I know that we get different writers on it, and the next writer on this one in part 3 is going to be Jeremy Adams. So, and it has to deal with Flash, so you know that one's going to be good. So I'm excited for it. I'm glad Leah Williams is not doing the other ones. So if I had to grade this one, this was a solid B. I would say that it's not my favorite because it still has to deal with freaking Aquaman and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the character, just like I'm not a huge fan of Namor. But still, it was a really well written, and I want to see the outcome of these robots on what's going to happen to them. Absolute Power Origins, Issue 1. This is 32 pages for the price of $4. Now, let me tell you, I was not expecting anything out of this comic book. In fact, I wasn't even excited for it. In fact, I almost didn't buy it. I only bought it really because of Worthy Ones, and I forgot to even talk about it on Worthy Ones. So that shows you how excited I was not for this particular comic. This one's written by John Ridley, and the art is done by Alicia Martinez. The artwork is fine. I don't think it's probably like the best artwork in the world, but it does do its job. It tells the story well. You got decent facial expressions. Kind of the deaths in this comic book actually were like a little creepy. And when it comes to this book, you're going to have to take your time to read it. There's a lot to read. There's a lot of in and outs that goes with Amanda Waller and like her personality and her motives on why she does the things that she does. This is basically the origin story of Amanda Waller on how much of a bitch she actually becomes because of the loss of her family members. It basically starts off as almost like a side-by-side or a parallel of Batman's parents' loss and her husband and her kids' loss and things like that. And she starts off with this like guy that's running for a congressman and stuff like that, and she starts to work day and night, and she starts to manipulate this guy, and she says, you're gonna take the seat, I'm gonna get you there, and we're gonna climb the ladder, and we're gonna do this and that. And she got this guy by the balls, man. And it's just like, wow, she started at this very, very minute thing, and you can see as she's blown her way up into the power that she is today. Really well-told story. You just got to make sure you take your time in reading it, and maybe make this the first one you read of the day or something. But I absolutely love this book. I'm going to give this one an A, man. If the artwork was a little bit better, it would have been perfect. So I loved learning this origin story of Amanda Waller. Makes me like her a little bit better. Gives me the understanding of why she's the bitch she is today. Ferrel, issue 5, the end of the first story arc. This book is 28 pages for the price of $4. Written by Tony Fleece. Art is done by Tony Rodriguez and Trish Forrester. The artwork is what you can expect, right? It's got that Disney-like feel, lots of, what should I say, like animated facial expressions, reminds you of Stray Dogs. Just really good. You can see that how terrified the cats are in this issue. And I want to say that this book, as it's been going on, has hit me more emotionally each and every issue, because you see the desperation on these cats on trying to survive this rabies apocalypse, and also trying to escape from the humans that are also trying to shoot them. And one of their best friends finally shows the effects of them actually having rabies and going after him, which I think was Patch, I think was the name. And then Lord is one of the cats that winds up like escaping and running away and doesn't know what to do with. And then you can cut the tension with a knife in this book with, again, just everyone trying to chase them. And then there's a particular part in this issue where they're in a barn, and you wind up seeing like these bats that all have rabies as well, or could give you rabies, and they're just hanging there from the ceiling like this. And I could picture this in an actual movie as an intense scene, waiting to see what's going to happen with these bats. I mean, so intense. What a great freaking comic book. My favorite issue so far when it comes to Ferrel. This is a must-read series. Another A+ book for me this week. So far, I'm showing you some of the best books that I read this week. And I think that if you have not read Ferrel yet, wait for the first trade to come out, which is very soon. And then jump on number 6 when number 6 comes out. So, excellent book. Rook Exodus. This is issue 4. This book is 32 pages. And this is $4. Someone in the comments, one of the webheads, told me this book kind of reminds them of the old cartoon show from the 80s, Mask. If you guys ever watched Mask, it's a show where these characters would wear masks and also drive these vehicles that would transform into another vehicle. So this kind of makes sense. It reminds me of that, but just minus the vehicles, and these guys control animals, right? Book is so freaking awesome, man. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok team up to write one of the best comics of the year. I think this might get comic book out of the year besides Transformers. The artwork is just top notch, second to none in this issue, and the action in this one is just, again, balls to the walls. It just does not stop as we get to see Rook and Dire Wolf actually go after Urshaw, who's the big bear warden, and trying to steal this whole wilderness like life thing that controls all the warden's helmets. And we wind up getting to see a guy that's like wearing Swine's helmet right here, and Rook is going after him. I mean, it just doesn't stop. You get introduced to some like snake lady that was exiled from like Dire Wolf, and you get to see those two battle with each other. I mean, look at this shit. I mean, this is something that is just, oh my God. I said it last time. I was like, listen, this is like a toy on a toy shelf, and when you see a new action figure for the first time, you're like, oh my God, I gotta get this guy. That's how it is when it comes to this comic. And they should make action figures out of this. Like, I don't know what Jeff Johns needs to do. Maybe Johns needs to go to like McFarlane or something and be like, can you make action figures out of these guys? Because I think kids could love these characters, man. This is so awesome. Such a great story. Like I said, there's a lot at stake when you read this comic. A lot of battling that's going on. I don't want to spoil the whole story, but it is awesome. And this is another A+, like S rank, the top pick of the week. I mean, those other books I mentioned are great, but this is at a whole other level when it comes to comic writing. This shows you how talented Jeff Johns really is, and Jason Fabok together, right? So, phenomenal book, guys. definitely recommend Rook Exodus. So there you have it, guys. There are the books that I did show off. There were so many others that I read, but I just don't have time to talk about them all and edit this video. But I did read them all, and there were some other great books as well. So at any time, guys, if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you love content, I always got more content for you to watch. And of course, guys, remember, support those local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting. Always remember, read your comics so we can have great comic conversations just like this video. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.